Weston. I'm a third year master's student in the Hovick Lab. So I study plants and plant traits. And I am here to kind of give you a mini tour of RNOF. This is one of our main buildings for our department, and it's on main campus. So to start off, I'm right here by the department office. You can see that it is closed right now, one, because it's a Saturday, and two, because of the pandemic. But this is where our three administrative staff do all of the work. So Corey, who you've probably met by now, Sue and Chanel, they're awesome. They take care of us when we need it, and it's super convenient that it's right here. So next, I'm going to walk you to my office so that you get kind of a view of what a grad student office is like here. So I am pretty lucky. My office is right by the main office. This is like kind of the social office because it's right by the elevators, the bathroom, the main office. So we have a lot of good times in this office, or at least we did before the pandemic. This is pretty typical of what a grad student office looks like. We've got our desks. Some offices are smaller, so there'll maybe only be 3 desks. Some are bigger. We've got a big office with like 8 or 10 desks in it. But I like this one. It's a good size. We have tea time, which is nice. So if you come to OSU, fingers crossed that the pandemic will mostly be over and we'll all get some good office time again. So next, I'm going to show you what the Hovick Lab looks like, which is a little bit dirty, but is like will give you a feel for what the lab space is. All right, so a bunch of faculty offices are along this hallway, and other grad student offices are along this hallway. So we have the 3rd floor and the 4th floor, and it just is everybody's office all mixed together. And normally everybody's doors are open, so we like to keep an open door so that it's easier for people to kind of interact with each other. This is our common kitchenette space, right? So before the pandemic, I would always keep my lunch in the fridge. Nobody takes it. It's like an office fridge. Yeah, this is like a good place. There's coffee, there's hot chocolate, so we've kind of got a nice communal space here. Let's go into the lab. So you will notice that I have to swipe into our labs. We've got all of them, they are locked, so you do have to request access, but you can do it with your Buck ID. So it's super easy, and I have mine around a keychain so that I don't get locked out. But this is the lab hallway. So everybody's 3rd floor lab is along this hallway. And kind of the big equipment, so like some fridges, some freezers, some drying ovens are kept out in this hallway. But let's take a look at the Hovick Lab. So from my experience, like this is a pretty big lab. We've got 3 bays in here. I think most of the labs are like this. Some only have 2 bays. Ours is particularly messy because I do my research with soil, and so we get dirt everywhere. Molecular labs are way cleaner than our labs, so take that dirt with a grain of salt. But what's really nice is we've got these huge windows. So although it faces the parking garage, which isn't great, at least we get light. You know, we get light in here, like the airflow is good. We're not like in some gross basement. So I personally think that we've got a really good setup here in terms of lab space and lab availability. But be sure, as you're going through this whole recruitment process, get someone in your lab to do a video call with you in your actual lab space so you can see what the space you will exactly be working in looks like. And yeah, I think that's it. See you later.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm a PhD student here at the Carson's Lab in the Museum of Biological Diversity. I'm going to take you on a quick tour of the museum and show you some of the great places and resources that the museum has to offer. So first and foremost among the resources located here in the museum are the research collections. The MBD is home to millions of unique specimens belonging to several different research collections located throughout the museum, each of which plays a really important role in both documenting and understanding patterns of biological diversity through both time and space. So we're currently standing outside the tetrapods division, which has over about 45,000 specimens, including amphibians, reptiles, mammals, birds, as well as bird eggs. So in this room to my left is the tetrapod specimen preparation lab. And as you can see here, this is where incoming specimens are processed before permanent archival in the actual collection. So for every animal that comes in, we first collect all of the information that we can about that specimen. This is including things like geographic environmental information, as well as information about the specimen itself, like physical measurements and tissue samples. And once a specimen has been fully prepared and is ready for archival, it's moved over the hall to the actual collection. So this is the tetrapods collection. About 90% of the specimens that we have here were collected in North America, with about half of those actually being collected right here in Ohio. So not only is this collection a really important repository of tetrapods in Ohio, it also holds several teaching collections that are used in organismal classes taught here at OSU.
And the tetrapods collection is far from the only active research collection here at the museum. The MBD is also home to the Triple Horn Insect Collection, which contains more than 30 million insect specimens from across the globe, including one of the largest collections of leafhoppers in the world. The Acrology Collection, which is home to over 1 million tick and mite specimens, making it the most taxonomically diverse mite collection of any North American university. The Borer Lab of Bioacoustics, which is a very unique sound collection which contains over 50,000 animal recordings that have been used for everything from scientific research to bird identification apps to movies. The Fish Division is home to just under 2 million specimens, with particularly strong representation in North American freshwater fishes and a strong working relationship with the Ohio State agencies involved in fish research. The herbarium contains roughly 500,000 plant and fungal specimens from all around the world, with a focus on the flora of northeastern United States and South America. The Crustacea Division is home to over 25,000 specimens of North American crayfish and hundreds of zooplankton samples from lakes and streams all around Ohio. And finally, the Division of Mollusks contains the largest collection of freshwater mollusks in the world, with roughly 2 million specimens.
Beyond the collections, the MBD is also home to several different classroom spaces, as well as an auditorium, which you can see behind me right now. Every year, there are a variety of undergraduate and graduate classes offered here at the museum, so there are usually quite a few opportunities to work directly with the museum's collections, whether it's in a teaching capacity as a TA or an instructor, or as a student in one of the several organismal classes offered here, like Ohio Birds or Mammalogy. And for those interested in the local biodiversity, these classes are also a really great way to understand more about the local flora and fauna right here in Ohio, as well as the rest of the Midwest.
There are also several research labs here at the MBD, so the building has both office and lab space. To give you an idea of what your space might look like if you do happen to join us here, I'll give you a quick tour of some of the student offices. So inside the suite, we have several different rooms that normally each house a few grad students or postdocs. And one of the nice things about working here at the museum is that you do get quite a bit of room, but as you can see, your lab mates are pretty close by, so you always have someone to talk to or bug for advice when you need help.
The museum also has several wet lab spaces. The area behind me is part of the Carson's wet lab. This is where we do most of our molecular genetics work. So labs located here at the museum also often have access to shared lab spaces over on the main campus in Aeronaut Lab, where some of the larger equipment is maintained.
In addition to research, the MBD also provides opportunities for community outreach through various events and activities, one of which is the annual MBD Open House, in which thousands of people visit the MBD to learn more about the collections and research going on at the museum. It's a really great opportunity to not only share your own research, but also to interact with the community.
So that's the MBD in a nutshell. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight about what types of resources and opportunities are available here at the museum. If you have any specific questions or if you want to learn more, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can visit the MBD website at mbd.osu.edu, where you can find out more information on the various collections, as well as contact info for museum's faculty and staff. Thanks.
I'm Rachel Finnegan and this is Hannah Moore, and we are second year PhD students who work in the Aquatic Ecology Lab, so we're going to show you around.
Ready? So now we're going to walk into the AEL. This is where we have all of our questions answered by the wonderful Melissa. And also we have our advisor offices. This is Jim Hood. And this is the spot where all sorts of science and brain work occurs, aka the office space. As you can see, no one is here right now because we're still in a pandemic. A nice perk at the AEL is our own big lunchroom where we have microwaves and refrigerators and coffee. The AEL are lined with past work that we've done and papers that have been published. You can also see letters and pictures from outreach events and the lab photos that we've been taking through the years. This one is from 1996. Some of you may not have even been born. Wow. This is the Hood Lab area where we do a lot of chemical work and contaminant work. We're not going to enter though right now because we're trying to keep this room clean. Here we have the freezer room where we have plenty of space to store our samples. Our main wet lab space is currently being renovated, so most of our microscope work and sample processing is done in here. So this isn't very exciting right now because no experiments are going on, but we have temperature control rooms to run experiments on. If you need boots or waders, we have every kind you could ask for, including things to be worn in major ice storms. We are well stocked with vehicles and boats for lots of field work. Here we have the AEL outside mesocosm facility. If we want to do any experiments out here, we can use these big tanks, throw some fish or zooplankton in them, change some variables, and see what happens. Thanks for taking a trip around the AEL with us. Have a great day, and we hope to see you in August.
Hi everyone, I'm Leah Weston. Again, third year master's student, so I've been here a while. And this is going to be a video of the greenhouse. So I'm starting you here by the elevator because this elevator connects to Aronoff. So it's super easy to get to the greenhouse. So let me show you. All right, so I'm in the first of two hallways that is our greenhouse. So we have some living collections here in this greenhouse and also space for research. So if we can take a look in some of these, like through the window, you can see there's lots of different plants in there. It's really humid and nice and toasty. And then at the end of the hallway, there's this really nice big atrium. So we've got some tree species in here. It's a little bit disheveled because it's under construction, but this is a super nice place. You can come, pop a chair up here, take a little break. It's some nice green space to enjoy. I'll have us take a look in here through the window. This, I think, is a Bennett Lab experiment that's ongoing right now. So you can see there's a lot of space for research. And finally, I'll take you to the growth chambers. So this whole hallway is all filled with growth chambers. A lot of these belong to molecular genetics, but this one is ours. You can see right now the color in there.
Yeah.
Wow. Right now I've got an undergrad experiment going in this growth chamber, and it's been super easy to maintain because it's right across from our building. All right, we're going back. Okay, so this greenhouse space is called the Biocide greenhouse. and it's just one of 3 available greenhouse spaces. So it's obviously the most convenient because our building is right there. But if you need more space, we also have greenhouses available on West Campus, kind of across the river, which is where I've done a lot of my work. So there's plenty of greenhouse space for any kind of plants that you want to grow. We got it here at OSU.
Hi everyone, this is Alexandra again. Just wanted to share with you guys, I just came here to get my teeth cleaned and it was a great experience. You guys can do this right on campus if you get the student health insurance, and I feel like that's a really nice perk to have. It's right next to the library, and yeah, it's a pretty neat building and really nice staff.
Hi, how's it going? I am James Feller, 4th year PhD. I'm out of Roman Lano's lab. I'm coming to you today from the historic Mirror Lake, which is looking a little low right now. I think they might have drained it to do some maintenance, or actually students used to jump in this lake before the Ohio State-Michigan football game, so they might have done it as a precaution. This is usually a really great place to come take a break when you're done staring at your computer after a long day. We're actually just down the street from RNF Lab, is behind me a little ways. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this segment of your virtual tour as guided by me.
Hi, my name is Macy. I'm a 3rd year PhD student here at Ohio State in Dr. Ian Hamilton's lab. I was born and raised in Ohio, spent several years moving around the country, moving internationally, and ended up right back here in Ohio. So the state and the school has a special place in my heart, and I am happy to tell any of you all about it anytime. But today I'm going to be talking about the RPAC, which is one of several recreation facilities here at Ohio State, and it happens to be the closest one to RNF Laboratory, which happens to be where my office and lab are, and probably where a lot of your offices and labs could be if you decide to come here. So the RPAC is going to look a little bit different than normal just because of COVID. Everything looks a little bit different than it normally does. So keep that in mind as I give you a really brief tour, and I'm gonna mask up and let's walk over there. So here we are in front of the RPAC, just over a 3-minute walk from RNF Lab. So it's a super quick walk. It's also very close to the bus stop if you are coming from elsewhere around campus. So I'm gonna mask up and we'll head inside. Okay, so here we are inside the RPAC. This is the first floor right after checking in. And the first thing we're walking by here on the right is the Student Wellness Center. Offices are closed right now because of COVID, but they have tons and tons of resources that they offer there, so I highly recommend you check out their website to see what services they offer. And if we look down here, you can see what is known as the Cardio Canyon. Tons and tons of treadmills, ellipticals, stair steppers, pretty much any kind of cardio equipment you could possibly need is down there. There are also various multi-purpose rooms on the sides off to my right here, as well as downstairs off to the right as well, and that's where a lot of the group fitness classes and such are. And as you keep going, you can see down at the bottom floor, we're starting to get into all the weight equipment. There's also a bunch of weight equipment up here on this first floor, as well as a few more cardio machines. Normally everything is a little bit closer together and it feels like a lot more, but you can see there's a ton of weight equipment here as well. Pretty much anything your heart desires. Something I have noticed in my time here is that the lower floors are usually a lot busier than the upper floors. Sort of as you keep going up, things get a little bit less busy. So let's head on upstairs. Okay, so here we are on the second floor. You can see a couple more cardio equipment, as well as a whole little gym with more cardio and weight equipment. Down this hallway here, a whole bunch of racquetball courts. So if you go to just the main desk and ask to rent some racquetball equipment, that is an option for you. And there's even more weight machines over here right now. Normally there are ping pong tables here, but because of COVID they had to spread these machines out, so they are now a bunch of weight machines. So now we're gonna head up to the top floor. And you can see here they have just a couple of exercise balls. They have this whole setup here, which is where TRX classes usually happen. So you can rent TRX bands on your own, or you can take part in a class and do it that way. And then at this top floor is also a track, so you can kind of get a good view of everything that this gym has to offer from up here. So if you go over to the side, you can see some of the machines, main lobby area. Again, there's that multi-purpose room with a whole bunch of equipment, so you can do your own sort of workouts here. Normally this is a pretty open space. Sometimes they'll do some fitness classes in there, but they had to move some machines in there. And then over here is all of those racquetball courts that I mentioned. You can see there are a ton of them, so if racquetball is something of interest to you, good luck here. And you can kind of see, if I look all the way down here, you can get a glimpse down in that cardio canyon too, which is kind of fun. Something else that the rec center has to offer is a whole bunch of fitness programs to help hold you accountable and help you find people to help you reach those goals. There's a glimpse of the stadium there too. And just a quick look down here. This is a glimpse at the second floor. A little sort of fake grass area of what I consider where you can do boot camp type exercises. And a glimpse down at that ground floor again to that weightlifting area. So like I was saying, the rec center offers a ton of options to kind of help you hold accountable to your fitness goals. They have tons of group fitness classes. They also have sort of incentive programs. It's where you can win prizes for going to a set number of workout classes. And they also have different groups that you can join. So one of the groups that I joined was called the Barbells, which is a ladies weightlifting group. where we just got together once a week with personal trainers and kind of learned the ins and outs of how to lift weights here at the RPAC. And I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. If you get here early enough, this is a glimpse at the big library here on campus, and you can sometimes see a beautiful sunrise there just behind the library. So I like to get here early and see that sometimes. And here we are back at the TRX area. So there is a ton of equipment here at the RPAC. So if you can dream it, you can pretty much do it here.